L.O.S.T. Man, been 3 weeks since I went live and did anything. Yeah, it's crazy. So, here's our situation. We got some cool stuff. We have our dog. We have the projector put up and everything. Just currently having something in the background. Look at, there he is. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Just look at him. Look at him. Bro, puppies are ugh. Why'd you do it? Well, again, I had dogs when I grew up, and I wanted my little one to experience the opportunity to have a puppy. And let's just say she's not happy with it. Because they bite. They definitely bite. They definitely bite. They definitely nibble. Everything that's put in front of them is considered food. Oh. Alright, let's get started. What have we done? What do we got? What have I been up to? So, my last con was last weekend at the Lehigh Valley Toy Comic Con. Anyways, what did they have there? They had a lot of really good stuff. What did I get? Well, I picked up this guy, right? Picked up this bath for 30 bucks, which is not bad. What else did I grab? I grabbed a breaker and I grabbed a dial tone. And I got this Snake Eyes, and I thought he was brand new, but 15 bucks. So, but he stands very well. You know, he stands really well. And here he is right here. So 15 bucks. Not bad, you know, not bad. My daughter got a whole bunch of stuff, but she enjoyed it. She had fun. And that's all. Again, that's all that matters, right? Making experiences with your children as much as possible. So, finally got around to opening this. I haven't transformed it yet, but yeah, it looks really dope. Looks really cool. What have I been getting? So, I made a trip down to the other home in North Carolina, and I was able to bring some stuff up. So, here's one of my orcs. Here is a box of orcs. Here is my gray Vanguard. And here is the accessories to the orcs. And what did I pick up? Well, just recently I picked this up from GameStop. And no, I did not pay $89. Yeah, well, yes I did. It was 89 bucks, right? But here's what happened. When it first went up for pre-order, I got it. And ever since then, I've been using my $5 a month coupon to put towards this pre-order. So, it was on pre-order for 3 months, so there was $15 already against this. I have a $25 coupon from Fetch. I don't know if you're following Fetch, but I would say go to your apps, type in Fetch. Basically, if you buy from using that app, you'll get points. But more importantly, if you have receipts, you could take a picture of them, upload them, and then you get 25 points. They used to give you points for things that you purchased. I don't know, there's something going on with that, but anyways, 25 points after a certain amount of time, you get a certain amount of points, you can buy gift cards. Well, I had a $25 gift card, and I used it towards this. So it truly came out to be like 40 bucks, which is great, you know what I mean? So I have Hook and Long Haul, I have, what the hell is this guy's name? I don't remember this guy's name. Scraper? Scrapper? No, not Scrapper. Whatever his name is. Bone Crusher. I think that's right. Bone Crusher. Whatever. But I got the other two being mailed from a good buddy. And I got them at like $25 each. So I'm really happy about that. Not having to worry about the extra taxes or anything of that nature. The only one I'll be missing is Mixmaster. And I'll be waiting for that one. Slept on this guy, but I finally picked him up at Ollie's. He was for $9.99, so a $10, you know, which I'm perfectly good with. And we'll go into this conversation in a little bit. I'm gonna try and make this like an hour, just because I can. Right? It's my time. You could jump on whenever you like, share, subscribe, all that other cool stuff. But let's go ahead. I got 4 packages. So again, I mean, it's been 3 weeks. Haven't really said anything or haven't done anything. So here was a package from Executive Replicas. Now, I've never purchased directly from that website, so I was kind of wondering, like, they used an Amazon box, and then this is how it looked. Somewhere in McCall or Newburgh, New York. I didn't do the research to see if that's where their headquarters is or anything of that nature. I just thought it was kind of weird that they don't have their own, like, boxes, you know, like, or tape or something. Like, here's an example, right? So that was the order directly from Executive Replicas. This was ordered from 5K Toys, plain box. This was ordered from Bumbusby. Now, this looks like it came from somebody else. I don't know how Bumbusby really works. If it's sort of like an intermediate, I think it is an intermediate or like a middleman. So you have stores that are like with Bumbusby, and then they're like the website that they go to, and then from there, you know, you get your customers or whatever. Not all the product on Bumbusby is from the same store, is what I think is going on. Because again, like, this is what you send it like. I don't know, 5K Toys, right? And then we'll just go right here. Here's Valivers. All right, plain box with their tape. So whether or not there's third party, sorry, there's spider. Oh, spider! So whether or not there are third party entities that you don't really necessarily know, and then that's how they're getting it, I don't know. But I do know this was ordered directly from Executive Replicas, and this is the box it came in. Not very happy, but hey. You know, like, how you run your business is really up to you. How you keep your customers, that's another story. That's another story. And this sort of leads into, like, what I was really feeling today, like what I was really thinking about today, just by watching some stuff. So we have this, we have this. I mean, thank you for the packaging. Love the way you did it. She's protected, which is great. And so I needed a legit Emma Frost, in my opinion. Again, how you do you is really up to you. I needed a legit Emma Frost, and this Chaotica is going to do that for me. She is well endowed, and I am very, very happy with this figure. So everything's taped, everything looks, you know, legit. It's just interesting on how they mailed it out. I don't know, weird. I don't know. But again, like, there's a little damage. There's a little damage right here, but it is what it is. They're gonna be open, so. But yes, I'm very happy. I got me a Chaotica. I got a Chaotica and I got an Emma Frost. There you go. Made in China. Isn't everything? So, we got those. Let's leave those up there. So, we got 2 Chaoticas. Okay, so here's one package from 5K. And as of late, the only thing I've been getting or ordering is like from third-party locations, and I mean, we'll get into it a little more once I stop, you know, showing everything that I ordered. And this is the Goat Man. Goat Man. It's gonna go great with my fantasy display that I want to create. This is from L.O.S.T. Here is another fantasy figure that I'm working on, and I had already opened it, but I didn't open it all the way. Whatever. Here it is. So I hope your guys' hunting is going well. Mine has been going fairly decent. Again, mostly concentrating on third-party stuff because that's where my finances are, or my fund, my toy fund is actually going these days. Mostly third-party. Not really getting anything. I'm still having issues with Hasbro Pulse. My membership lapsed. It ran out. And I've been trying to log on, trying to do it. And I don't think I could get it done unless I'm connected to a hard line. Currently, right now, I'm running off of Wi-Fi. And I'm going to admit, I got almost 20 things running off of my Wi-Fi. From my kids' devices, to my devices, to my wife's devices, to the house devices, right? There's a bunch of stuff. So it is what it is. It may be low signal, and that's what it is. And then I would have to fix that. Yo, hey, chew a lot. Stop. So here's the number 5, the Magma Forge Master. Guardian of the Horde. Yeah, this guy looks pretty sick. Man, what really looks amazing is that wolf. Oh, go on 5K Toys, you'll see what I mean. It looks mind blown, dude. Mind blown. Alright, so we took advantage of the sale that Bobby Vallo was having a while back. I say Bobby Vallo. Valloverse was having a while back. Yes, he's the owner, but I mean, you should refer to it by the company name. And we got some really cool stuff. So I was really holding out to the last minute, but I pulled the trigger and I got a pink. And I still believe that they are supporting the breast cancer awareness. I think he said with all of them that are sold, a certain percentage of the profit will go to the breast cancer awareness facility that or not facility, but donational thing that he has going on. So yeah, hopefully that's still the case. So we are opening one Crimson Shadow, and we got the flamethrower guy. Actually, we have the Praetorian Fury, but with the flamethrowers. And then here's the... So the box art is going to be different, and then there's a possibility to get the purple... Not purple. What the hell am I talking? The blue flames. Yes. So on the box art, instead of having the flames, you'll have the miniguns. So let's see what this one is. These were in the wounded portion, so these were a little cheaper. Nope, same one, which is fine. And the art is the same. Works for me. Works for me. I got two of these. I will be opening these soon. I don't think I'll do a review. I think I'll just open them and then we'll go from there. Anytime I do an opening, it turns into a review. Oh, what the hell? I would like to put these back in the same box that they came in. There you go. We're going to open this next to see what exactly it is. Let's do that. We're going to stack these up right here. Stack this up over here. And so today I was catching up on a couple of YouTube videos that I was watching or just been catching up on. And we got another Steel Brigade. Oh yeah, see, there was that slight issue that had the little thing, but which is cool. I'm not worried about it because I'm opening this guy. But what I have been doing, oh look at that. I have been keeping the cards. So that is that. He's playing and nice and happy. So I did open this guy and he looks really, really good. Got him shooting across my laptop at this guy who looks really, really good. Alright. And I put the different colored shield on him just because I just thought it would look so much cooler. Yeah, I think it looks good. I like it. I like it a lot. Man. So I have been bringing a lot of items from North Carolina here. Just for the simple fact that I just really want them out. I want them out and I want them displayed because that's why I got them. And this is the stuff that I really, really enjoy the most. So with that being said, join me as I open my already opened box. Let's put that over there. I don't need this keyboard any longer. So let's put this over here. So we got this guy, right? And we'll open him. And we have this. Alright, so let's do this. Let's do this. Let's flip this around. Alright. This is pretty cool. Can't wait to open that. But till then, see you later, buddy. Alright, here we go. So we have orc hands. We have orc weapons galore. axes, helmets, shoulders, samurai swords. All this stuff, right? Because again, they were on display at the old house. And yeah, had to pack them up, bring them here, helmet. And just look in the library and you'll see the videos that I've done on these already. Really, really love these guys. And so let's do, first things first, let's get this one out. Okay, maybe this one? That'll work. So we have our regular dude. Put his necklace back on. Let's put his head back on. Right? So our regular dude. Now these do come out. They're slotted in there. They do come out. But what sits on top of them are and this was that extra accessory pack that you had to get these. Once they're on, they're good, but they can pop off. Because all it is just like a little ball holding them in there. Leave that one down there. Yeah, see? So, you see that? So this one actually has the ball already inside with the little slot that goes into the arm. That's what that is. That is that. So, yeah. And then you look here. Voila. Oh, that's the other side. Well, I guess I do need this from the file. Get over here. Get over here. And they are specific to what side they'll go on. Just for the simple fact that that's where the shoulder portion or shoulder armor, you know, goes over. And there you go. And then that's what he'll look like. Bam! Pretty sick, huh? Alright, so we got this guy. Put him over here. We have this individual. And I'm a big fan of the Mohawk. So his armor is really dope because it has that extra set of like teeth if you look. So this guy's really sick. And I can't wait to get him off. I'm almost positive this is the sword that goes in there. Yeah, there it is. And I believe I had, was it this sword? Or was it? I'll find it. But I had another sword that he was holding, so. There we go. Then here's an extra head. So we have another one of these guys. And as you can see, this one does not have the little slot in the shoulder. So this was one of just the regular troops. He's getting upset because I'm not paying attention to him. Just like any other child. We got a green one. And we have another one. Yes, I have been troop building these guys. Why? Man, I really, really want to create a huge battle scene. And it's slowly going to happen. So I have 3 of the lower level green orcs, right? 3 of those up to this point. 3. And then we'll be finding a location. And then obviously, as you can see, I could change the head on any one of those. So here's one version. There's 2 versions. And then, so for this guy, I went ahead and I actually I switched out an arm. I swapped an arm off from the other guy. And then he would look something like this. Yep, boy. Right? So that's what he looks like. Fully up armored. And do they have shields? I don't remember. I don't think they do. Okay, so I'm going to take this one off. There we go. So as you can see, we have 3 of these guys, right? All different head sculpts. So that's really dope. It just makes it so much more fun to troop build with these guys, because they're not all going to look the same. You could take off and add on, so you'll make all of them look different, which is really, really good. Really, really fun. Especially when you let your imagination just go, and then just like, man, so cool. Create specific battle scenes if you want to do certain things. Yeah. Alright, so here is this gentleman, and he is one of the more decked out ones, right? So he's sort of like a commander-ish, which is really, hey, stop, crazy. And then there you go. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is the issue with transporting these guys. You gotta be careful. Now all this stuff does pop off, but you don't want it necessarily popping off so easy, right? I mean, and obviously once I get him situated, he'll be looking menacing. But here you know. This is another one of my orcs. And this table got packed fast. Here's how it all started. And then it turned into this. And then here's the samurai one, which is really dope. Right? So as you can see, I mean, they're just so cool. They have so many accessories. You just do so much with them. Now, last portion of this box. I'm going to leave this in here because, well, that's what I'm going to do. So here is this guy. And I've done a video on this guy, so. And so when I was transporting these from one location to the next, I did take off the heads just because I was concerned with some of the stuff that could break in transport, especially if you don't have them in their original boxes, right? So we got the rhino guy. Really? You really want attention, don't you, buddy? And then one of our more recent purchases was this guy. And I did a short video on him. And you can tell he's a different color. So he's the bounty hunter, if I'm not mistaken. Alright. So that's that. That is all the orcs. This is all of the stuff that they could either put on them, not put on them. So much fun, so much fun. It is one of those figures I do highly recommend that people, you know, try to get if they like this type of stuff. I would say get it. Go after it, get it. Because they are amazing. They are so much fun. But, so while I'm messing with these, right, I'm just going to talk about a little bit of stuff that I've just been listening to and watching. And just want to, I don't know, put my 2 cents out there. Hasbro, as an entire corporation, right? Their loyalty is not necessarily truly to the customer. I would imagine at one point in time it was. No doubt in my mind. When they first started and then before they became a public sharing corporation, their focus and attention was probably on the customer. Right? But when they moved over into the stock market and now their corporation, now their company is actually based off of dividends and all this other stuff. It's a business. It has nothing to do with you, the fan, or even more importantly, you, the fanatic, right? Because that's who it's hurting the most, is those die-hard fans who just, they just love everything. I'm not going to say Hasbro, not Hasbro, but they love everything about Marvel, about, you know, G.I. Joe, whatever it may be. And those are the ones who are being forgotten. It's not necessarily in the best interest at times for the corporation to necessarily, I wouldn't say pay you any mind, but not really give you the time of day. That's it. Why? Well, because the bottom line is what the shareholders are after, which is profit. Now, you could argue different things, right? Well, if you invest more into the actual products, the products will sell more and different things of that nature. True. That is absolutely true. But you have to understand the numbers that we represent when purchasing their product is not overwhelming. The numbers that Target, Walmart, and other locations purchase, now those individuals have speaking power. Now you could say, oh well, what about, you know, those products that end up in alleys? That's not at a loss to Hasbro in no way, shape, or form. They've already sold that product to Target, to Walmart, to these retailers. If the retailers can't sell it in their store and then they decide to sell it to a liquidator, then, or an outlet, you know, whatever they choose, it doesn't matter because Hasbro has already received their money, right? It's the liquidation store, or it's the retailer who is actually hurting. They're losing the money. So right there is where you got to understand, like Hasbro as a corporation still making their money. Target, Walmart, small third-party sellers, they're the middleman between you and the product. Instead of you going straight to Hasbro to purchase it, you're going to Target, Walmart, or a third-party seller, meaning a small independent toy store or comic book store or whatever. They've already paid for that product. They've already gave Hasbro the benefit, right? Whether it's whatever profit Hasbro received from there, they've already got it. So they're not too concerned with what happens after that. And I think that's where we as the consumer are being misled, or not misled, we just don't understand, or we don't care to understand, maybe is the better phrase, the better term, right? We don't care to understand because all we want is the product. We don't care who's selling it, we just want the product. We're not necessarily paying attention to how the entire system works, right? There's an ecosystem to it. You're the end user of it. So, yeah, it is interesting on how we lose sight of that, because we want to blame Hasbro when in all reality they really give two shits, because they've already got their money. They already got paid. So they don't have to answer to anyone else. Shareholders, that's who they answer to. As frustrating as it may be, that's the facts. And so we as fans, to demand more or to demand better, we might have to do a better job of how we purchase the product. Right? Because at the end of the day, no business exists without you. No business. There is no business that exists without you. YouTube doesn't exist without viewers. Target doesn't exist without customers. Hasbro doesn't exist without customers. No business exists without you, the fan, the customer, the end user. That's you. You are the interesting aspect of this, right? Now, as a fan base, right? As a fan base, we could either come together and demand better, or we could continue to go down the same road that we go and accept what is given to us. And that's that. At the end of the day, that's what it is. Which is interesting because, like, there's so many people, when you go to these cons and you go to these things, you just go to YouTube. Watch all these individuals doing videos about the product itself, right? Some guys criticize, some guys take it as it is, some individuals, just talk about it. But at the end of the day, you are the number one consumer. You are the purchaser of the product. So if you want change, demand it. How do you demand it? Well, stop buying the product. Now, it's easy to say that, right? But what happens then? Well, if you stop buying the product, they stop creating it. Is that the risk you're going to take? Is that the thing you're going to take? I personally do not believe that Hasbro would be like, that's it, we're cutting all ties, we're not going to be making any more action figures. I don't think that's going to happen, right? Could it be a possibility? Absolutely. Do I see that happening? No. No, I do not. I do not see that happening. Where's this dude's thing? So you know, you have a choice. Or damned if you do, damned if you don't. But until everyone decides that they're going to come, you know, come together and just force the company to do what's right, then it's probably never going to happen, ever, because their bottom line is making a profit. That's their only number one concern, profit. So, yeah, you know, it was interesting to be watching, and some of you already know this, some of you don't know this, some of you don't want to hear it, some of you don't want to acknowledge it, but you know, it is what it is, because that's just how the game works. Either you know the game and you accept the game for what it is, or you don't and you learn the hard way, and then you're upset with how it's being played. I mean, at the very end, the game can't be played without you. There is no game without you. So, you know, it's one of those. You gotta be like, okay, what do I do now? How do I adjust? For me, I have one. I let my Pulse Premium lapse. I didn't go back and really assert and try to figure it out, because it's obviously not that difficult to do, right? I just got to go get a landline, and then I could pay the 50 or whatever bucks for it, and then done, right? No problem. All my pre-orders that I had with Hasbro, I pretty much canceled. I don't really think I have any. Again, for the simple fact that when an order actually comes up, let's say Pulse, right? I would get the email, I would go on, and I never really got what I wanted because my connection was too slow. Well, what's the point of having an app on a mobile device that your order is not going through? Why am I wasting my money? You know, I could go to BBTS, I could go to Nerdzoic, I could go to like Nerdzoic, which offers rewards. They offer like sort of like cash back, right? If I purchase enough items from them, they give me a little something back. Why? Then I could use that to purchase more items. It only makes sense. That's a good business model to have. You know, so it's like these things that Hasbro does is they have the ability to do that because of how large they are. But no matter how big you get, if you lose money, eventually you're going to lose your business. It's the way it is. And you can't be like, oh, well, I want to make sure that I support the employee. Why? Hasbro's already laying all those jokers off. Hasbro's already told you where their mindset is with their new CEO. They're willing to take their entire corporation from 100 years of being in one location, where they own the building, where like everything is to their benefit. They're willing to throw that away and move down to Boston. Why? I don't know. I mean, in someone's spreadsheet, it probably makes sense. But as an actual individual, it makes no sense. Could you open a satellite office down there? Absolutely. Could you even send the CEO down there? Absolutely. Would I call it headquarters. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. You know, but you've already made really crappy business deals where you've dumped so much money into electronics and games and apps and all this stuff, and you haven't really seen a profit on that. So you're pumping finances into something that's not beneficial. It's not. It's not producing fruit. You're watering a garden that is not producing any vegetables or any fruit or anything. There's nothing coming of it. So in some sense, it looks like you're wasting money. But again, this is like somewhere, I'm almost positive, somewhere, somehow, some spreadsheet, some analysis, some statistic, some dweeb in a suit is like, hey, this is where the money is. Okay, sure, maybe. But again, if that's what you want to deal with and that's who you want to put your money towards, then that is solely your prerogative. Me, like, I'll wait till it hits Ollie's. And if it never hits Ollie's, guess what? I'll go to a con and I will get it under retail. Right? $15. $30 for this Build-A-Figure. Yeah, I didn't get it immediately when it first came out, but now it's part of my collection. Right? I personally am spending my money on higher end product, which I look at and I know that's a one and done, unless I see something better. Not just something different, you know? Now, it's very difficult for those who are G.I. Joe fans or those who are Marvel fans or fanatics and stuff. I get it, man. Like, it's hard. It's hard to walk away because this is your fandom. This is what you enjoy. But at some point, you're going to have to look and be like, you know, am I tired of being treated in a specific manner? That's one of those that you have to decide. Still a great hobby, in my opinion, you know. It's just financially, where am I going to put my money? That's the way I look at it. So I have been focusing more on third party. I have been focusing on independent makers to get my fix, right? Because this is a hobby, but it could also be considered at some point an addiction. You know, like, I just can't stop. I love the package in the mail. I love that feeling. It just makes me happy. I get it. I've been there. I am there. I'm with you. Right? It's pretty evident. It's pretty evident. So, yeah, I got it. I mean, man, I'm right there with you, man. It doesn't make it any easier, though, right? It doesn't sit well. I don't get that warm and fuzzy because, you know, dealing with these yahoos. So I just want to ensure that my experience, my whole happiness, right, is with a company that I'm trusting in and enjoying, and I get better customer service, or better customer representation, you could say. My opinion. That's how I feel. Whether I'm right or wrong, there is no right or wrong. It's all based off of you. But just remember that you are actually you are in charge. Like, at the end of the day, without you there is no them. Right? If everybody took all their money out of the banks, there'd be no banks. If everybody stopped buying groceries at a specific store, there'd be no chain. If everybody stopped wanting cheap Chinese goods, Walmart would be out of business. It's just the way it is, man. Like, you are the individual who's in charge. No different than your government. These individuals who are in office are there because you've placed them there. That's it. You want them gone? You could get them gone. I think it's time for the American consumer to realize that they still are in charge. I think we've forgotten. I think we've forgotten that. I think we've as a people have forgotten how much power we truly control. Man, these guys are so dope. Look at these guys, man. Jeez, look at them. You get them in that right pose, that right position. Awesome. Awesome. My biggest worry, though, that guy down there. Boy, that mofo. Which is why I got this gate, to keep him from coming over here. Oh, I have nightmares of seeing him chewing. One of my guys. Like, oh. No, but it's good. It's good to have these guys back where I could be messing with them and stuff like that. Look at that. I really enjoy setting this dude up in a specific manner. But you guys let me know in the comments, right? Let me know what you guys think. Like, do you guys view that you have the power to... Now, obviously, you personally, like your $30, is that really going to hurt Hasbro? Probably not. But your $30 plus somebody else's $30 plus somebody else, like, at the end of the day, it'll all be effective. So you accept what it is that you accept. Come on. See, this is if his hand was just a little bit longer, I could go ahead and get him in like the coolest position ever. Well, not the coolest position, but one I want. Right. So it'll get there. It'll get there. Alright, let's do this. So for a long time, I had this guy just standing in this position with this as almost like a kickstand, where his long mace was holding him up or helping assist. So like, because I mean, when these guys, if they take a fall, now I don't normally have that issue with these, but I've seen or and then I've heard people say like, "Ouch." But there are certain things you can do to ensure that that doesn't happen. So we have two. Let me see. Let me see if I have. No, I don't have a good. No, yeah, none of these guys have that arm. So, but yeah, there's just some stuff I wanted to just chit chat about and actually, just get off my chest in reference to what I believe is going on, and like, oh, they're not making specific characters. Oh, they're not doing this. It's like, I would imagine just listening. So if you go on 3POA and you listen to the interview with Ryan Team, and obviously Bobby Valla in Laser Pants, and you listen to it, you understand that Ryan and his team were at the lowest level, right? They had to talk to this individual, and then they had to talk to this individual, and then this individual, and then this individual. So there were layers as to how they're going to proceed with what is going to be distributed. Maybe not necessarily, well, yes, maybe, because there were the next level above them, and then there was this other individual who was representing Marvel and Disney, right? So they spoke to their boss was speaking to this individual, and it was sort of like a triangle, right? They were all talking, and then just to give the go ahead to say, yes, you could create this, right? All the characters are there. All the characters are there. They have a plethora of characters that they could use. But if they don't get the okay from Marvel, then it's never going to get made. So yeah, that was an interesting aspect of it. Is as marketers, they're like, hey, we would like to do this. They would like, we'd like to promote that. We'd like to do this, and then if their boss was like, no, we're not doing that, they'd have to go back from ground zero and be like, okay, what else can we create? And if it's taking almost 18 months to 24 months to actually produce one product or like one figure, then that is ridiculously long. Like, wow. Like, that is crazy. Crazy. And I think the biggest out of that team, out of what used to be Ryan, Dwight, and Dan, I think the biggest one that you could blame for the product, for the actual individual figure, I would imagine is Dwight. Because if he has control over what the end result is going to look like, then he should be the one who's taking the most blame. Right? For example, this Power Band. If there is a design flaw on it that doesn't make it look comic accurate, then that falls on Dwight. If there is a face malfunction, right, where the face just looks busted, isn't that Dwight? Doesn't he control the design of the character, right? Isn't that what his function is? Isn't he supposed to be the one who's overall supervising and then giving the green light as to, hey, this is what it's going to look like? And then whatever is coming back from the factory, isn't he the one who should be inspecting it? And then saying, no, you got to change this, you got to change that. The eyes, the eyes are cross-eyed, or the eyes sit too high, or whatever, right? Like, these little details of it. Wouldn't that be him? It would be no different than blaming Lenny for Tunnel Rat, or for Mainframe, the new Mainframe that's coming out, right? having the legs of Tunnel Rat. Why? Why did you put, like, Tunnel Rat is a short character based off of the data card, right? When he was created in the 80s. But Mainframe is not supposed to be that short. So why did you give him Tunnel Rat's legs? You didn't catch that? I don't know. I like, that's where I start to question, and like, so now I got to go back and find out a set of legs that are going to fix that issue. Should I have to? No, not for $30. Because that's what, no, 30. Yeah, I think $30 now, or 32, something like that, right? Is what the price is. Let's look. There's no point in guessing. But so these are the interesting things that I look at, and I'm like, yeah, no, we're good. G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Cardback Flint. Didn't you just give a Flint in the didn't they just give a Flint in the Snowcat? I guess because he has Arctic gear on, maybe? I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so Mainframe's $24.99. Right? $24.99. But again, like, I shouldn't have to go back and fix that issue. It should have been caught. It should have been dealt with. So those are things that they could be held accountable for. But I don't think that they could be held accountable for anything that their bosses or their boss's boss tells them you can't do, right? So character creation. The liberty to say, hey, I want to do the fridge, right? For G.I. Joe. Or let's say for Marvel, I want to finish this team. And they're like, their boss is like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. All the tooling is there, you just got to mix and match to create that character. But that individual says, no, we're not doing that. I don't blame them for that. But when an end product finally does get to us in hand and it looks messed up, like a busted face, then yeah, man, like yo, where were you on that? Why did you not fix that? Why did you not address it at that point in time? The Giant Man. Let's talk about the Giant Man, right? Let's talk about the Engine of Vengeance. That mold is created. That prototype they had to show, right? With the figure and all of that's already created. They've already spent the money to create that initial one. Why don't you just put it out on the market? It's already there. You've already spent the money. Why don't you just put it out now? And actually put it out at a more reasonable price instead of trying to skyrocket the price ridiculously for no reason. It all goes back to that whole tier system. Oh, if you like, so your initial price that you're giving us accounts for everything. So if it accounts for everything, why don't you just give me everything? The Engine of Vengeance. If it accounted for all those tiers, why didn't you just offer that to me as a whole package? Doesn't make sense, right? But it does when you're in business and you're trying to make money. Greed is the answer to that question. which is why they called it the engine of greed, right? Back to Giant Man. So we were supposed to get the original Skull, the Scroll Zombie, and then right, and there's one that we did not get. Which one did we not get? I'm trying to. I think it's. I mean, the problem, like, it's here. Just go to HasLab, and then. Oh, they no longer have it. Really, they only show what's in production. Oh no, past projects. Yeah. Oh, here's an interesting thing. So your only past project that you're showing is. Who the fuck is Joe? Hi, Joe. Who's Joe? Anyways. Oh, they have an outlet tab. Oh. Yeah, so. So they are limiting what you can actually see based off of their thing, which is interesting. Because I know at one point you would be able to go back and check the information on those old really? What the hell? On the old HasLabs, but I don't think they allow you to do that anymore. Huh. Information is key. Information is power. And if Hasbro as a corporation can limit what information you have, then how will you ever really know? How will you ever really know? So yeah, it's very interesting. I just don't understand why they never gave us the last head, because it would have been extremely beneficial had they done that. I mean, it just would have showed. It just would have showed customer appreciation, right? Hey guys, we were so many short, but we're still gonna go ahead and we're gonna make sure that you guys get this because it's already made. Like, it's already there. It's already established. No. What do I know, right? I'm a moron sitting in his basement talking about toys. Anyways, yeah, so that's just some of my thoughts on this whole Hasbro situation. Man, that interview with Ryan was a really good one. It was, I mean, I hope it was eye-opening for you as the fan or fanatic who never really understood the complexities and the layers of bullshit. Normally, when you work white collar, you'll come across that. Me being in the service, I was able to see what the lowest level individual did to the very top general did. And at each layer, something was said at the top, and every time it went down, more and more was added. Until at the very bottom, there was so much shit, it was hard to walk in. But you still made it happen. Versus, you just take the initial order, and then you give the initial order. You don't add to, because you want to, I don't know, piggyback off of somebody's command. Like, there's a lot of that. And I would imagine that's how a corporation like Hasbro works, right? At the end of the day, everybody wants to validate their position. Sorry about the F-bomb. That's it. Everybody just wants to validate their position and be like, hey, look at me, this is why I work here. And in all reality, it was like, no, like, you should be doing more. And if you got to do more with less, then do more with less. That's it. That's how it works. You know? But hope you guys enjoyed seeing all the various orcs I have. Right? Oh, crap! What are you talking about? We still got one more. This is from Hero Toys. I don't. And we have that one. Where did we go? So, as you can see, I'm almost positive I did a video on this guy too. This guy looks sick, right? So we have one more, right? Fully up armored, right? No slouch. He's the man. Everything goes by him. Awesome display of weaponry. So yeah. Chooch. So yeah, one more to add. One more orc to add. And I will say, so here's the difference, right? So we'll take this samurai and then just look at the base body. And then you'll see, you see how much wider he is and how much more girth. This looks like a slimmer down version. So, yeah. They don't have much rotation as far as the head is concerned. But here's where you could get away with it, right? It's an orc. Maybe that's how it evolved. So its articulation when it comes to its neck is limited because of the evolution that it has. Versus, like, you already know as a human, like, hey, if I could look up in the sky, then my figure should be able to look up in the sky. Well, this is an orc. This is not human. So, all you know is what it can do. There are no expectations, right? There's no additional expectations you have. Oh. Alright, so I think our next video that we're going to do, I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to open all of our, I think I'll do the Savage Crucible Human Wave. And then I can start creating like a little display. I'm not sure. Let me go ahead and move around this way. I gotta clean up this hot mess that I have over here. And I will show you what I'm referring to right now. Right now. Get out of here. Huh? Look at this guy. Look what he did to my chairs, man. And this is what I talked about. See, this is why I have this huge fence right here. I have another fence over there separating this from my daughter's space. But this is what I'm referring to. So let's go ahead and try and back this up as much as possible so you guys can get a better view. I got a bunch of figures that are just laying right here. I gotta somehow get all fixed. And this is that wolf that I was referring to, right? But it actually like glows in the dark. Oh, look. Legion's Con coming up, can't wait. But yeah. Right? Then I have this. Oh, look, see? So here's another version of that dude, right? So you see, it's a thinner body, right? So yeah, I have a couple of these. I have this guy. Can't wait to try and get this all displayed. I have some Savage Crucibles that I gotta get out there. Oh, and I have another Samurai dude, which I was thinking about using this guy as my next Hulk, but we'll see about that. And then I have, this is a Mythic Legions, right? Some Savage Crucible, you see him right here. You have this guy, you have this guy, Kazar, right? And we have Bath right here that we still got to get situated. I got the elf chick that I still got to get fixed. Not fixed, I just got to put her. Now we got these guys. Oh, here's that slot that I was talking about, right? Got two more of these. See, and then that's how it sits. So if you could see that right there, that's how it slides in there, and then you could slide it all the way down to make it go further down. So yeah, got a bunch of dudes that I got to try and figure out where I'm going to set them up. And then this guy's pretty cool. I know he's from that Golden Age game, but he still fits the display and stuff that I'm trying to create. So, and then these skeletons fit that as well. So we have these skeletons, we have these skeletons, and then I have this skeleton. Go back in my library and you can see all the skeletons I have. This is a Mythic Legions. I think this is Kulo. Kulo? No, not that Kulo. Yeah. Savage. So yeah, once we get all these guys situated, this dude is amazing. I love this guy, man. With the soft goods and stuff. I was so heartbroken. It's got a wired cape. So heartbroken that that they're not creating that Griffin. Oh man, he would have looked amazing on that Griffin. Yeah, he would have looked so good on that Griffin. Oh. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure something out. We'll get him an animal to ride into battle. Well, yeah. So my space has become limited, right? I had this entire wall. I had from this corner all the way to that corner. Now, I'm sharing it. It's all good though. You know, at the end of the day, it's all good. He's a very good puppy. We love him. yeah, so pretty excited. I got all these guys. I thought I'd bring. Wait, did I? Hold on. I could have swore I bring my King Arthur. But, I guess I didn't. Oh well. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it's a long one, and I know it's mostly me yapping my mouth about stuff that I had on my brain. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys had a great time looking at all the orcs and just different things. All of them I got either from 5K Toys or Bumblebee. The newest one that I still have to open is the Guardian of the Horde. Is this guy the Forge Master? But he doesn't. I could justify this one as a bounty hunter, these two, you know, as teammates, and then all the other green ones stick together, and then the orange ones. And I got like the main orange one coming, brown, orange, whatever it may be. Yeah. So there's certain ones that go with certain things. So yeah. Really excited and stoked to have these. So I should be getting them all in order. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys had fun. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know any comments. Please, if you have anything to say in reference to the whole Hasbro situation or how businesses, you know, operate. At the end of the day, you know, you have options. You don't have to go. Mafex, Sentinel, you have Mezco, there's so many other corporations right now, other businesses that are creating Marvel characters that are higher end, way more better. Now they're a little more pricier, but you're getting what you're paying for, right? Paying for a $25 figure, that's what you're going to get. $25 figure. If you're good with that, I'm good with that. Right? But if you're tired of them treating you in a specific manner, stop spending your money there. Take your business somewhere else. So, thanks for joining me. Have a great weekend. I'll see you at ToyCon, New Jersey. Later.